Hello, dear all. Hope that you all are fine. And today we will discuss about Grahadi. Now, in context of Atsar, we have already discussed that there are three disorders: Ars, Atsar, and Grahadi, which are mainly due to Amandagni, and they are correlated with each other. And they sometimes they act as Nidanarthkar root. So, what happens that in the state of Mandagni, all of these three disorders, Atshar, Ars and Grahadi develops commonly depending on the site of vitiation and doshe. Then there is common factor, there is Mandagni, but depending on the location of uh, site of pathogenesis, that is what you have read in the uh, context of some prapti, that yatra shanga khave guna. So depending on that place, there is development of particular disease. So when dosha gets vitiated and catch some degree of vitiation of in particular segment of um, anvasrotas, that is grahadi, so that leads to grahadi root. We will discuss this in the context of grahadi. We will describe it later that what is grahadi and how it develops. But initially, that because Mandagni is a very important factor in this contest, and I have also described that Roga survey of Mandagni. No, because Mandagni leads to number of disease, and depending on the those dush and site of Asthan Sansara, there are different kind of different number of disease that develops in a person. And what Acharya Charak says that the person who have good uh, whose Agni is doing well, you know, and whose Agni is almost normal, if it takes something a path, unfavorable diet, even disease does not forms, because due to Deeptagni, its incompatible diets also get digested. What Achar Susrut says, Deeptagner viruddham vithatam bhavet. है ना? In the state of Deeptagni, Viruddhahar gets digested. So most of these disorders develop in the state of Mandagni. So why? Because if Agni is well, that can digest and absorb most of the food. So basically, we can conclude it that Mandagni leads to vitiation of Grahadi, and that leads to Grahadi root. Same in the same way, Mandagni leads to some different kind of different part of body and different those that leads to different kind of disorder. And now, first of all, we will discuss about Grahadi as an organ. Which place of the body is defined as Grahadi. That is a very important thing because Achar Charak says Grahadi Asrito Agni Doso. Is Grahadi Dos. What he says that Grahadi Dos is actually a disorder that leads due to vitiated Agni that remains present in the Grahadi's part. So, which part represents that Grahadi? So, in this context, Charak have stated that Aganyadhisthanam Annam Granat Grahani Mata. It is site for Agni and it is responsible for Annam Granat. It receives Ann, it absorbs Ann. And where it is found, Nabherupari, above the umbilicus, the part of GIT that is above the umbilicus and is responsible for absorption of food. What says Annam Grahanat, that portion is defined as Grahadi. And what it does, what is the function of Agni, that it retains normal functioning of Agni and Bal. You know, Agni Bal Upastam. It supports Agni and Bal, and it maintains equilibrium state of that Bal and Agni. And one major thing is apakkum dharyatyannam and pakkum srujat chapyata. Its major function is apakkum dharyatyannam, means it retains food when it is in the semi-digested state. It up to a semi-digested stage, when the proper digestion of food does not take place, up to that level the food remains in the granary. And what happens when the proper digestion finished, what absorption and digestion, both all of the two terms finished, so it says that pakkum srujat chapyata. Now it propels the digested food towards lower side of that intestine, and you can say the towards rectum, because it becomes mal. There is two type, an bhag and prasad bhag. So kit bhag. So when it becomes kit, it is propelled by that granny towards rectum, so that stool can be formed. So major function of the granny is that it retains food until its proper digestion takes place. And when its proper digestion and absorption is finished, it is propelled towards the lower side of the abdomen, and it remains above the umbilical region. And out of 9 quadrants, you can say that in outer 6 quadrants mostly somewhere granny is found. And in the same way, Acharya Sukshrut has defined that between Pakwashay and Amasay, refer the second line, Pakwamasay Madhyastha, between the Pakwashay and Amashay, there is a covering in the intestine which is known as Pittadhara Kala, which is sixth Kala. That portion is known as Grahdi, the portion between Pakwashay and Amashay, where there is a presence of a particular line that is known as Pittadhara Kala. You are aware that Kala is defined as Dhatvantar Maryada. It's between two dhatus. So there remains Pitta Dharakala, and that portion where that Pitta Dharakala is found is known as Gradi. So, and you are aware that where Amasha is there, Navi Asthananantram, we have discussed earlier that Navi Asthananantram Jantur Amasai Smrita. Between epigastric region and umbilical region, there is Amasha, where who resides Amanam Annanam Ashya, where semi-digested food is found, where complete digestion of food and complete absorption does not take place up to that level, that is defined as Amasha. Now, there is semi-digested food. So we can say in total that between top 3 quadrant and middle 3 quadrant, there is a place where Pitta Dharakala is found, and its site, that place is site for Agni, is known as Grahadi. And I hope that you can get it. That space between Amasha and Pakwasha, that means in between epigastric region, 3 layers continuously, hypogastrium and epigastrium, then umbilical, then that 6 regions of the abdomen. There is a portion between that Amasha and Pakwasya where Pitta Dharakala is found, and which is also Pitta Dharakala is also the place of Agni. If we combine the concept of Charaka and Sushruta, then we can say that between Amasya and Pakwasya there is Pitta Dharakala, which is the site for Agni. That portion is known as Grahadi, and it is responsible for
digestion, retaining of food until it gets digested and absorbed properly. When both of these process is completed, then Grahani propels that uh, kit bhag towards the rectum so that stool can be formed. This is the entire about Grahani, the which organ is Grahani.
You'll see there in a commentary on Charak Chikitsa Sthan, chapter 15, slope number 1 and 2, Achar Chakrapani stated that what is Grahani dos? Actually, Achar Charak described this chapter as a Grahani dos. And where, as you will see in the Madhav Nidan or Susrut, there is Madhav Nidan was said it is Grahani rog. So Achar Chakrapani defines that what is Grahani dos. So he says that Grahanim Asito Agni doso. The abnormal function of Agni which resides on Grahani is defined as Grahani dos. Very clear that Grahani dos is actually improper function of Agni that resides particularly at Grahani where Pitta Dhara Kala is also found. We discussed earlier. So that is Grahani dosh. And what Charak says that what is the Grahani rog? Then he says Adhastu Pakkumanam va Pravittam Grahani Gada Uchyate Sarvam Evanyam Prayo hi Asya Vidashyate. Means Vida of food, means digestion of absorption of food takes place in this that place. So when it gets vitiated, then in the condition of vitiation of Agni dos, there is defecation of either properly formed stool or improperly formed stool. Adhastu pakkumanam. Either apakku stool is there or pakku stool is there. That is characterized by Muhurbaddham Muhurdrom, we will discuss later on. So, in the Grahani, there is defecation of improperly formed stool, or sometimes when the Agni is good, then there is uh, defecation of properly formed stool. So, both of these are found depending on the nature of Agni. What Acharya Madhav says, Muhurbaddham Muhurdrom, there is a defecation of a stool that is sometimes loose and sometimes that is hard. That is the specific feature of Grahani rog. So very here we will see only this that what is difference between Grahani dos and Grahani rog. That Agni dos is Grahani dos, and when we consider about that other features too along with this Agni dos, then it becomes Grahani rog. The mostly it is a similar kind of because uh, it is due to Agni dos. So we can say that both of these terms are interrelated with each other. And now we will discuss about the etiology of Grahani, and that is Nidana of Grahani. So what Achar Madhav and Susrut have very beautifully defined the etiology of uh, Grahani in a single line. Now he says that Atisare Nirvitya api Mandagne Rahitasana. So it has two segments. Now take one segment as Atisare Nirvitya api Mandagner Ahitasana. This is one line, one complete line for one type of patient. One type of patient means Atisare Nirvitya api Mandagner Ahitasana. After treatment of Atisar and if Gatatisar Lakshan does not appears, so there remains some degree of Mandagni. After treatment, there is until unless symptoms of Gatatisar does not develops. So up to that time there is some degree of mandagni. In between that time, if the person starts taking incompatible food, that leads to Grahani Rog. One thing that in the after treatment of Atisar, just after treatment of Atisar, what I, I want to ask you, what was the symptom of Gatatisar? If anyone can write down, pause this slide and write down, and then restart. You will be able to understand in better way. है ना? If not so, let me tell you. I will tell you what says the यशोच्चारम बिना मूत्रम सम्यक वायु वचती दीप्ताग्नेर लघु कोष्ठस्य है ना so दीप्ताग्नेर लघु कोष्ठस्य its agni becomes normal. Deeptagni is there. Deeptagni means here that state of agni becomes normal. There was mandakni, so mandakni converts into deeptagni and it becomes normal. It means it does not say that it becomes tichragni. It says that it becomes deeptagni. So it shows that it becomes normal. So if it does not becomes normal and someone it starts taking incompatible food, that leads to Grahani. That is a one kind of patient. And other kind of patient who does not have Atsar, I'm not taken treatment of Atsar, but he has simply have the state of Mandagni. In due to any reason, if he has the state of Mandagni and starts taking incompatible food, then in that patients too Grahani rogs develops. So there are two kind of patient. One is with Atsar and one is without Atsar. So in that condition where there was pre-existence of Atisar, the Grahani is known as Partantra Grahani because it Atisar behaves like in that condition Atsar behaves like Nidanarthaka Rog. It leads to Grahani. Whereas in the second condition where Atsar is not found, only there is a state of Mandagni and someone starts taking incompatible food, that kind of Grahani is known as Swatantra Grahani. So there are two types of Grahani depending on the etiological factor. One is Swatantra Grahani and that is Partantra Grahani. So this complete line reflects Partantra Grahani, whereas last word of this slok Mandagne Rahitasne represents Swatantra Grahani. Last word Swatantra Grahani, complete line Partantra Grahani. Ab comes now to Acharya Charak. What he says that Mandagne Rahitasne was beautifully defined by Acharya Madhav, that Mandagne, he have not quoted the various etiological factors that leads to Mandagni. In one word he have discussed that all those factors which leads to Mandagni must be present. Most of the factors you can say. So all those factors have been described by Acharya Charak in chapter 15. Though many more factors are also other than this. So we will discuss here that Abhojnath, who does not take food at the regular time. Abhojnath, and he have prolonged fasting. Abhojnath, Ajirnath, Atibhojnath, taking excessive amount of food in the stage of Ajirn. And Vishwasnath, we discussed almost all these symptoms in context of Atsar, so I have not translated here. And you can see there. So say Abhojnath and what say Ajirnath, Atibhojnath. Excessive intake of food in the state of Ajirn. And Vishwasnath, I hope that you can remember Bhavastom Kale, Gayam Vismasnam. Means if you are taking food as at 2 o'clock regularly, yeah, 1 o'clock you in the lunch,
you are taking food regularly at 1 p.m. So you start taking sometimes at um, 4 o'clock and sometimes 11 o'clock. So that is known as Vishmash. You know, if you start taking early, sometimes late to that normal period, that is known as Vishmasnath. And I think that you are aware of our Ashat. And here Guru, again, we same in the context of Atisar that Guru is of three types. Subhavta, Matrata and Pakta. Subhavta Guru by habitual, which is Guru like Mash, whose Pak is Guru and whose Mata is Guru. Guru is of three types now. And Sitatiyat Ruksh. And again Sit is of two types by Aspars and by Vir. And Ruksh, Atiruksh and Sandust Bhojanath, that which is vitiated by something uh, else. That food is vitiated. Either it is due to some kind of contamination, either it is due to a form of prolonged storage. Such kind of food leads to Mandagni. And we again discussed in the chapter of Atsar, Mithya Pratkarma. So here not described Mithya Pratkarma. Instead, Acharya Charak says that Vivek, Virek, woman, Sneh, Vibharmat. Vivek, Virek, मतलब विरेचन, woman and स्नेह, मतलब मिथ्या योग of ayog, atiyog, mithya yoga of woman, virechon, sneh, adi, means entire panchkarma is included by this word, that birek, woman, sneh, vebarmat. And other second portion is vyadhi karsrat. You can see here the vyadhi karsrat what Acharya Madhav have stated, atisare nirvitya api. Same here is there, vyadhi karshnat. Atisar was the Nidanarthaka role, and here also Vyadhi work acts as Nidanarthaka role. In the Atisar, the same has been described. Desh Kal Ritu Vaishamyat Veganam cha Vidharnat. Desh Vaisham, Kal Vaisham. There is Ritu Vaisham. And Veganam cha Vidharnat. Or Veganam means especially Vidharan of Purish Veg. So that leads to vitiation of Agni. These are the factors. I have not translated here because we have already discussed in the context of Hatisar all about all. So I have not translated here. You can see there in the context of Hatisar from my previous lecture. So these are the etiological factor for Grahadi. You know, mind it that there are how beautifully Acharya Madhav have described in two words, Atisare Nirvitya api Mandagne Rahitasna. So here very beautifully he have detailed that all those conditions which leads to Mandagni, and in the state of Mandagni, if someone starts taking incompatible food. So all the four lines have been described under single word Mandagni. Now there are other factors too. You can consider as a cause of Mandagni. And just what I developed, described most likely. Matra apya vrutam pathyam channam na jirati chinta shok bhay krodh dukh sayya prajagra. There are some psychological factors too. Chinta shok bhay krodh dukh sayya prajagra. Due to worry, due to grief, due to fear, due to anger, and a prolonged grief, and dukh sayya due to improper sleeping, and prajagra means the prolonged sleepless time if someone is facing. And other Vyadhi Karshanath says that psychological factor include that Irsha, Bhay, Krodh, Paripluten, Lubden, Rugden, Nipediten, Chatu. So these all these factors, Irsha, Bhay, Krodh, Paripluten, that someone who have a state of Irsha, Bhay, Krodh, and who is suffering from Rug, then Nipediten means who is suffering from any kind of pain.
from for prolonged time, in that condition also the Agni becomes Mand. There is Mandagni. So all these factors, you can say that all those factors which can leads to Mandagni are responsible for the development of Grahani too. But important thing is that these factors first of all develop Mandagni, and if someone starts taking some kind of incompatible food in the state of Mandagni, then Grahani Rog develops. And now we will discuss about the Samprapti of Grahani Rog. So what Achar Madhav says that Bhoya Sandusto Vahinim Grahanim Avdushet, that um, Bhoya Sandus the Sandusito Vahinim means that etiological factors that cause vitiation of Agni. Vahini means Agni. Uh, how? By vitiation of ekekse sarvasaschev doshar atyart mushte. Either vatas by vitiating vat dos, pit dos, kap dos. Either are sarvasaschev. Either collectively means either there is a single dose or there is sannipas. So initially what happens that etiological factor leads to vitiation of either single dose or all three dose at a time, and that leads to vitiation of Agni. Either particular dose leads to vitiation of Agni or sannipat of that dose lead to vitiation of Agni, and that vitiated Agni cause vitiation of Grahani. That parts gets vitiated. When Agni was vitiated, it was Grahani dos, and when parts Grahani doshe, so that if part gets vitiated, that Grahani. So in very simple word, you can say that initially there was vitiation of either single dos or Sannipat that causes vitiation of Agni, and that vitiated Agni causes vitiation of Grahani part. है ना? So due to vitiation of that Grahani as an organ, what happens? Sa dusto bhuso bhuktam amameo vimanchuti. You know, what says that sa dusta bhuso, that vitiated Grahani, bhuktam amam eo vimanchuti means it propels the undigested food. So there is passing of unripe or improperly formed stew, which is the major important factor of Grahani we discussed earlier. So this is very simple. We will discuss in next slide. Till that, just remember three topics: that vitiated Agni, vitiated dose causes vitiation of Agni, that vitiation of Agni leads to vitiation of organ. So what was the function of organ? That it apakkum dharyatanyam. So it was, its major function was to retain that undigested food, and when it gets vitiated, it its capacity to retain that undigested food is lost partially, so it passes towards rectum. And this by this flow chart you can just see that what we discussed very in a very easy manner, that due to prolonged exposure of Nidan, there is Agnimanth we discussed. There is Agnimanth due to particular dose, and due to Agnimanth there is Am dose that leads to Pittadhara Kala Dustiya, that ultimately leads to Grahani Dusti, and that is passed out through rectum, and this is known as Grahani Rog. So in Samprapti Ghatak, you can see here that dose is either or all. So we can say the dose is vitiated. Either Vat is or Pitt is Kaph is or Sannipat is there. And those is Anya and Ras, and ultimately food is Apak. And Srotas is Anva and Purisva. And Sroto Dusti is Ati Pravritti. You know. And since there is Muhur Baddham Muhurdrom, so it is sometimes it is defined as Ati Pravritti. Adhistan you we discussed from first slide that there is Pit Dharakala and Grani, both are vitiated. Agni, you can very easily you can say that it is a kind of Agniman, and Subhav is Darun, very prolonged, and its prognosis depends on age. What Acharya uh, Madhav says that Balke Grahani Sadhya Yuni Kriksha Samarita Vriddhetva Sadhya, that in the stage of Balya Avastha it is curable, in the stage of Yuva Avastha it is Krich Sadh, and in the stage of Vriddha Avastha it is the Sadh. So this is the prognosis of Grahani Rog in context of Samprapti Ghatak. And we have discussed very few topics about Grahani Rog and Grahani Dos, and what are the Nidana of Agni. We discussed that there is Swatantra type of Grahani, Partan type of Grahani depending on the etiological factors, and then we discussed about the causes. So, and we discussed about pathology. So rest of the part we will discuss in our next lecture. Till then, enjoy. Thank you all.